Okita J Souji. This servant, they definitely got a good buff. Does it change my opinion on them? Just a bit, because before, the issue was she never refunded enough that she could actually do looping. I didn't realize the interaction with her third, like her MP, how that actually worked. But it still didn't change anything. It just, I wasn't explaining it correctly. Like the answer was right. My work just didn't show right. This is an Okita. They have ridiculously good gains and hit counts. That is consistent across the board with Okita. That is like their selling point. If you get an Okita servant, the gains are going to be ridiculously good. They're going to function really good. Base attack 9.3k. We like to see that, since assassins have a negative modifier on damage, meaning they do less damage than a servant with the same exact attack. But like 9.3, pretty good. HP, this is anemic, but it's Okita. What do you expect? Are you expecting Okita to live, miss tuberculosis, to like be extremely tanky? Yeah, no. You're thinking of Okitan, not Okita. Star weight, star gen are assassin numbers. 5 hit quick cards. She's not Jack, but she's pretty fucking close in performance wise, like for face cards, to what you'd expect from Jack. Fairly close. 3 hits on the art. Again, if you crit on this, it's gonna be one of the best in the game. The only one that like really surpasses it is Vitch. Vitch is kind of the only servant that can kind of surpass what Okita can get on this arts card, because a 3 hit on 0.92 is ridiculously high. It is very, very high. And also, the only reason Vitch beats this out is because Vitch has a 4-hit arts card and Okita has a 3. That is pretty much, otherwise they'd be almost identical in terms of gain. First skill, crit damage 100% for 1 turn, star weight, good. It removes your latest defensive buff. It's not a 4 turn though, so that's cool. You get pretty often crit turns, but wow. At least it's only 1 of your defensive buff, and you're not like Asako that removes all buffs just to heal. Asako is 100 personas, by the way. Second skill. There is nothing wrong with this skill besides the MP damage being low. There's technically nothing wrong with it. The evasion and ignored evasion being like tied to this. It's not the worst thing. This is a 3-turn duration, but again, this is a low value for this. But then again, it's supposed to be Eye of Mind. No, because it's usually crit damage. Like the defense is like 14, and the crit damage you get from Eye of Mind Pulse. Wait, true? Eye of Mind True is like 30 or 40%. So her having like 20% MP damage, I get it, but this should be 30. I feel like this should be 30. And the third skill, what got buffed? So flat out 5 turns of 50%, 3 turns of 50% quick up. That's better than a lot of servants get by a long shot. It just has with this little demerit where it reduces defense by 20% and then it gets progressively worse. Yeah, Okita just is trying to kill herself. That's the lesson. The buff gave it a 30% battery and MP gen, which now she's a quick servant with quick up and MP gen and a battery. She has the trifecta. She has MP damage to help out a little more, get overkill quicker, but that's about it. Is there anything wrong with this skill? Was it a mistake of them getting rid of this? For her farming, I don't think it matters because you're not supposed to be getting hit in the first place. So farming wise, like, and this now is 100% a farming skill. I don't think it matters. But she for damn sure is not, you are not bringing her into a boss fight. This defense down, unless you cleanse, and it's treated as a buff, so you cannot cleanse it. Interesting. Yeah, this crit damage is nice, but treat that as you have something chunky and you need to kill it, so you pop the crit damage. I don't. She definitely could be used as a crit servant. I just feel like you are fighting such an uphill battle for that. Like, just bring her to farming now. And the passives, again, they really just wanted to meme on Okita. Star Gen up 7.5%. Good. Assassins always like that. And of course, it says presence consume J for jet. Like, if it wasn't for that jetpack, she'd have B presence concealment. But because of that, everyone could fucking hear her approach. So she doesn't actually have presence concealment, or she can't use it currently because of mostly this and double X. Mag resist J, C. Debuff resistance 15% up. And yeah, 20% insta-kill chance resistance, while her base is 50. Don't have, if you can expect one thing to happen, it's that Okita actually will get insta-killed. Like, most of the time, servants are not likely to get insta-killed outside of like meme circumstances like King Hassan fights, or like Hassan like challenge quest exhibitions. Yeah, no, Okita can probably get casually insta-killed. It doesn't come up often, and it's funny, except it's still something like people try to actively get, and it is a gift unit. Existence outside the domain. This is what lets her still technically be a crit servant, because existence outside the domain is the passive that allows Van Gogh to buff servants. So while she isn't a foreigner to like fully take advantage of Van Gogh, does actually get something out of it. And I'm pretty sure Van Gogh doesn't directly buff foreigners. She buffs existence outside the domain, which is the foreigner passive. Yes. There is literally nothing that says only foreigners. It is existence outside the domain. So while I don't see her as the best crit servant simply because she cannot use her MP, like, it's going to ruin things in a crit turn if she pops her MP, unless you have like got lucky and can either stop her stun, or you have the mystic code that blocks stun, like it's like the Tamamo one with her mirror. Unless you're doing that, you are gonna have a bad time. Get mana loading, because now she has a 30 battery. You can start farming with her. Her MP damages all enemies, removes their defensive buffs, 60% chance to stun, and reduces their defense at a high 30%. So when I last talked about Okita Souji, or Assassin Okita, like, I hadn't used them that much, so I didn't fully realize what the one turn stun meant. It does not mean that you cannot farm, it just means you cannot do face cards after, which for a crit servant is kind of crippling, because now you have your quick MP and you definitely don't get any MP back. It's different if it was Buster. It's like, sure, I stun myself after. You just do it like you do Oberon, because he invulns your opponents. Just face card before. You don't care about refund. But with quick, you do want to get back up. And this stun is all the nice thing about Okita's gains, you don't notice it because you can't face guard. Now, does this stop her from farming? No, it does not. She is able to farm, and the stun does nothing. It's why Tamamo Cat and Fran, they have 2 turn stuns, not 1. It's because of that, like, so they cannot MP the next turn that they have the 2 turn. So, her damage did not change on this chart. It should not have changed. But she is sitting fairly high considering her competition. But here's the big thing, Kichi Hogan. Kichi is like just easier to use. Like, unfortunately, she's not gonna be able to start from 0 like Okita, because I think she can now. You might have to like finagle some stuff. It might not be triple Scotty. She's not on here. I feel like she should be able to do something. But yeah, I'm pretty, especially with, sorry, trying to get back to it. Especially with Chloe, they're not that concerned about refund anymore. Like, if you really need to brute force it with Okita, you can. Let's finish this before I come back to it. Ascension mats aren't terrible. They're actually fairly tame. The leveling is going to suck for the medals unless you have a shit ton. As in, you went pretty hard in the last lotto and you just have like hundreds, maybe thousands just lying around. You need a lot of these, so it's not the worst thing. But yeah, I might have farmed a little too much. Bond CE, quick performance up 15%, crit damage up 15%, and everyone is debuffed by 10%. Okay. So straight up, do not summon her strictly because you want a quick assassin farmer. Just get swooped by Kashin Koji or wait for Kichi Hogan forehead. Easy. Her, like, everything about this servant looked good until you realize how many flaws they put in her kit purposely. They made her MP only 3 hits, which for a quick servant pretty much is like why I thought like she wouldn't be farming, period. Like, 3 hits is ridiculously low for any quick servant to have, and almost none of them loop on 3. You have to have stupid cracked numbers and MP gain to go with it in order to be quick looping all 3 hits. Okita has it. It's just like her flaws are still holding her back. The MP damage would help her hit overkill, which she desperately needs to hit extremely quickly. That first skill, this having just this demerit is like, why? I think her MP needs to be buffed first. 100%. She needs to hit overkill as quickly as possible. Like, she's not Buster. Buffing the MP is gonna do more than buffing a skill. It's not like she's Buster where she can double stack. She is not. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed me talking about Okita J Souji. I'm happy to replace the other video because me finding out that the stun didn't actually affect looping and affected face guards, which technically was looping in a boss fight. Yeah, unfortunate. But I learned, and I'll be sure to remember that she has this buff because I'm pretty sure I have her on NA. I don't actually remember. All right, see you guys. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.